designation of the interior and exterior of the building. But somehow the weather gods were against us last week, and we'll be looking at that on the 8th before we can do that. So that is one thing that we can check off our list that we'll have been doing at the committee, and then throughout the year I think we'll be looking at a few other things that will recognize the 50th. But for now, I think the committee is really quite excited and enthused to be involved in this, so I hope you'll all be, it's going to be a big audience, you'll all be here next week. Tim, I know I'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. A lot of what we do is captured by our archives, of course, but as that sign was being built, I was thinking to myself, what can I put together that's relevant to today and throw into a little time capsule and just sort of sneak it into the forum and hide it there, and then 50 years from now let somebody know about it. But breaking up that, what's probably going to be a lovely sign to just find what's in there probably isn't a good idea, but I do like time capsules. Anyway, so we've gone through the formal portion of the council agenda, and so with that, I'd like a motion to adjourn so we can move to the open forum.
Move adjournment.
Thank you. Second by Councillor Murdoch. Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Unopposed. Motion carries. All right. So I'll just wait for our staff to depart so they can be free to enjoy family time.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been to our open forum, this is something that we added to our council procedures a while back in April, and it's an opportunity to speak on any topic that you like. We grant each speaker 3 minutes to address on a district-related topic. Some topics are excluded under rules of procedural fairness, and we put a short list of those up on the screen for everyone to see. When you come to the microphone, please remember that you're addressing council and that you should direct your questions to me and not individual members of council. I will turn it over to council members if I deem it necessary to have a discussion. Otherwise, some of the questions might remain unanswered, and I will take those back to staff and try to provide you with an answer. So it's very important to give us your name and someone contacting you. So with that, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address, and let's hear from the first speaker.
Hello, good evening, Your Worship and Councillors. My name is Harriet Graham, I live in Saanich. And I'm here to speak about Dave Pogge's proposal for the Watkis Way site to become a park. I presume you're all aware of this. I thought Mr. Pogge might be here this evening to present it himself. Am I able to get some feedback as to if you know what I'm talking about? I know you are, Mr. Atwell, but you others know about this proposal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Pogge came to my office and we sat down and had a discussion.
So I would like to propose that an emergency moratorium bylaw be introduced by Mayor and Council until such time that the ALR Act is revised to prevent unnecessary logging of land such as is being carried out at this Watkis Way site. We understand that what is happening with the clear-cutting of 5,000 trees is not against the law, but it is undoubtedly an abuse of nature, the environment, and the planet. In our letter to Council, which was sent to you all on Friday last, we reminded you that trees not only absorb carbon emissions, they give us oxygen and also reduce the sound of noisy traffic. I've said this before in council meetings, they are the lungs of the planet, and we are trying to reduce carbon emissions. Apparently the owner of the Watkis Way site, Mr. Alan van Kerkhove, whom I shall refer to as the landowner, is not in urgent need of either hay nor cash. So of course the question is, what is the real reason for his clear-cutting of forest? I can imagine that the landowner feels disappointment and perhaps anger that Watkis Way was not considered for a sewage treatment plant. I understand he spent $100,000 on a proposal. Anger and disappointment is now also being felt by thousands of Saanich residents because of a potential loss of a forest. The landowner doesn't seem to want to budge on his decision to cut down the trees, but too much is at stake for you councillors not to have another try at opening a dialogue. And please don't take what you read in the press as irreversible. Find out for yourselves, direct from the landowner. I suggest Saanich seriously consider buying the property to turn the forest into a park. Perhaps other municipalities would jump on board, or perhaps the CRD could become involved in such a project. This is an emergency, and emergency measures should be taken. If council were to show any interest in the property and have a friendly discussion with the landowner, perhaps he would even donate the land to the citizens of Saanich and View Royal. He is said to have made donations of land for public use in the past, so why not this piece of property? From Dave Pogge's account, the property would make an idyllic park, and it would save the home of birds and other wildlife. I actively support his plan. I would also like to just, before I get to my last paragraph, say to Mr. Murdoch that
Could you address it through me, Harriet?
through you,
Just
Your
please, yeah.
Worship,
Thank you.
that
And just to let you know that it's been more than 3 minutes, but I'd like to hear the end of what you have to say.
But I mean, it seems this whole episode of cutting down a forest is making a farce of Mr. Murdoch's, what is it? It's a healthy environment for every Saanich resident. It's making people sick, this whole thing. They can't sleep at night. They don't know what to do about it. I know this hall isn't full tonight, but people feel helpless. In closing, I suggest 2 motions be made. One, that there be an emergency moratorium on further logging at Watkis Way until a healthy agreement can be reached between the municipality and the property owner. And 2, that the Agricultural Land Reserve Act be revised to prohibit unnecessary logging of land such as is being carried out at Watkis Way. I believe usually farmers are only allowed to cut down 2 or 3 trees a year. So thank you for your consideration, and let's hope we can save those trees.
Thank you. I want to give you some feedback on this. One of the difficulties that we have is that it's very difficult, if not impossible, for municipalities that are governed under provincial legislation. We sit here as a result of provincial legislation. We can't do anything in terms of bylaws and resolutions that override provincial legislation. And it's provincial legislation, the Right to Farm Act, that is allowing the landowner to cut the trees down right now. And this isn't unique to Watkis Way. This has happened in other places, and British Columbia continues to happen. So that the first remedy that you suggested, I don't think is available to us. And the second one, that the Act be revised, is something that we can certainly write about. The other option that you mentioned was to buy the property. I think that is a possibility. I don't think that's completely off the table, but it would have to take the agreement of council. It would have to fit our needs, and it would have to be something that the landowner, of course, is willing to do as well. The best thing I can do in the short term is to meet with the landowner, and I pledged to do that. That was written up in the weekend edition of the newspaper, to ask him to stop the logging and to sit at the table and figure out what options are available. He has come before through an agent. He has been to the CRD in the past. It's been very frustrating for him, but sometimes simply coming in the front door with a proposal when a committee isn't ready for it isn't the best way to proceed. So I'm hoping a conversation will grease the wheels, if you will, to see what we can figure out that can be done, and then just to have that conversation, then to bring it to a body that can then take some action, whether it be this council or CRD or both, or Township of View Royal. Some of the property actually crosses over Watkis Way, and I spoke with a councillor from View Royal on the weekend talking about possibilities. So these have to be brought together, and I would like to see the logging stop so that we can, if we do get to a point where we can do something, that what is remaining can be preserved.
But at the moment, each day, a number of trees are being cut down still.
Absolutely.
So this conversation needs to happen quite quickly.
Time is ticking, it is. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Harriet. Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak on virtually any topic?
Same topic, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor and Councillors. My name is Gerald Graham. I'm a proud resident of Cadboro Bay, and I'm hoping that I still have the right to speak, being from Cadboro Bay for at least until next spring anyway, when we possibly secede. I hope you don't. I'm here to talk about the Watkis Way property as well.
We hope you don't.
Pardon?
Secede.
Yeah, right. I don't want to repeat what my wife Harriet just said. I'd just like to make a few extra points. I think they should be on the record. And I think we need to find somehow short-term remedies to prevent the logging which is taking place as we speak. And then a long-term solution that can preserve the remaining trees in this significant woodlot. Although the land in question falls within the ALR, it also falls within the boundary of Saanich. And so I wonder where the district's urban forest strategy kicks in. I mean, we've had significant tree loss in Saanich over the last 5 or 6 years, as you know. And even the Director of Parks and Recreation has said that this clear cut is the largest falling of trees in Saanich in as long as he can remember. 5,000 trees, that's a lot of trees. There's got to be some way we can try to find a solution to this before they're all cut down. Now the owner claims that he's a farmer first, but if you have 5,000 trees on your property, doesn't that make you a forester as well? Now what about sustainable forestry and selective logging? I think if anyone is to meet with him in the future, he needs to be educated as to the value of these trees, the ecosystem services that they provide, and the value that you know they can enhance to his own property as well. And then he sees himself as a philanthropist. Well, if this is the case, maybe council could sit down with him and ask him whether he's prepared to donate the land. Look at Francis King Park. You know, they could have decided, the owners of that property could have decided years ago to cut down the trees there and make hay. They would never put up a plaque saying Francis King Park. If this man would like to preserve his legacy for the future generations, this would be a wonderful way to do it, to donate that land to Saanich. So I'd like you to explore options for saving that park, to continue your meetings with the owner, and to see how those trees can be preserved for future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gerald. Larry? Come on, Larry.
Call. Okay. Mayor, councilors, staff. I'm Larry Lane of 1850 San Lorenzo Avenue. How's this? Local businesses are the nails that hold our community together. Remember the nails. What do I define as local? Saanich, yes. Greater Victoria, yes. Southern Vancouver Island, yes. Vancouver Island, BC, yes. I was shopping for an English cucumber to slice and top my wife's sourdough and cream cheese. This store only organic English cucumbers came from Chile. I passed on them. A couple of days later, Marty, my wife, found organic English cucumbers from Spain. And some grown in BC. Local businesses. There's a man who has a local business that provides fresh-picked organic salad greens for local restaurants. He leases the rooftop of a building at the corner of Blanchard and Broughton for his garden. Lots of sun and no deer problems. Beehives on the roof of the Chateau Victoria Hotel. I'd like to suggest that new buildings with flat roofs meet specifications to carry raised bed gardens. Food sustainability, local markets and groceries versus the Texas-owned Whole Foods Market that has a policy to carry 5 or less locally grown foods. Whole Foods will take a share of the finite family food budgets from existing markets and stores, weakening our demand for locally grown produce. Let's support local initiatives. And thank you for giving citizens a chance to vent. I would add, as I have 2 seconds, would you consider council having only 5 members? Business was done in 30 minutes.
Thank you, Larry. Next speaker, please. Hello, Haji.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Before I speak, Mr. Mayor, I need direction from either council or Ms. Dupas. I will speak to an item which was dealt with in the public hearing on October the 6th, and it must be between the 3rd reading and 4th reading. No, so I can speak?
No, you can't speak.
I can't speak. I will wait till the new year, sir.
Thank you.
Come back. Thank you. I didn't want to take away your unnecessary time.
It's okay. I believe you can still email us.
I'd rather not. I already wrote a letter to the editor. I'm not sure how many people read it, but I'll wait till the
details.
4th.
While the hearing is closed and that's the end of the information we can receive, then I guess that's the end of it.
No, but the 4th reading, after 4th reading, I can always come and talk.
Yeah, okay.
Okay?
Of course.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
I'm aware of that. All right, thank you.
Are there any members of the public who wish to speak? Please come forward. First timers are most welcome.
My name is Rachel McDonald.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, I'm actually living in Oak Bay, and I just wanted to convey my disappointment and shame that we live in a society which pretty much is helpless if it's private land with the destruction of the Watkiss Way. I went to a Habitat for Acquisition Trust meeting at the Oak Bay, the Windsor Park Pavilion, and it was just fascinating to me. And there's 100 and something people there, and they were talking all about the importance of trees. And I know the past Saanich Parks manager, Ron Carter, when he found out about this destruction of Watkiss Way, he was absolutely devastated. And so is Chris Hidlay, who is actually the manager of Oak Bay Parks. I just wanted to put one little thing that Chris Hidlay had told me, well, as the group, the people that were in the audience. This man, I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but the landowner is destroying 24 acres of trees. 1 acre of carbon absorption is equivalent to driving your car 26,000 miles. 1 acre. And he's actually destroying 24. So 24 times, whatever that makes it, that's an awful lot of carbon that we will have to breathe because of this tree destruction. And I remember Ron Carter saying that. I think it's something like equivalent to losing a Mount Doug Park a year in terms of tree forest canopy and all about the urban forest strategy program that we're trying to put forth, even in Oak Bay, let alone Saanich. I think Saanich is well known for a municipality that is promoting tree coverage, fresh air, clean water, all of these things that are so important to us. In Oak Bay, we're being stuck in trying to provide huge high property taxes so that we can have more infill. Infill is not important, you guys. It's the clean air and the fresh air and the clean water. And I just hope that you can do something to convince this man and try and pressure the government, the provincial government, we understand, to try and change this, the ALR ruling that allows this to happen. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for coming here tonight. Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak? Please come forward. Calling for a second time? I won't call any names out. I see a lot of friendly faces out there. Anyone at the back? Anyone at the side? Okay, seeing no more, we'll then call an end to the open forum. I'll take these notes with me, and thank you so much to everyone for your comments. I do appreciate it. We all appreciate it.